Hello and welcome. This is the process and steps I have underwent for the making of my scrapbook. The scrapbook I have done by the title of The Life of the Three Balakis and Jan wasn't a very hard process. It just took some time, concentration, and effort to finish it and perfect it. Step 1. Gather the A3 paper. The first step, which was probably the easiest, was to take the A3 paper I had and cut off the trim. I needed approximately 3 papers, all of the same size, A3. Step 2. Write down in pencil. The second step was to write down all the information I will be presenting on the paper. For example, the title, notes, and description of the objects I will be taping in. I wrote everything down using a pencil, in case of mistakes, and a ruler to ensure it was straight. Step 3. Gather all the needed objects. The third step is to gather up all the objects I will be sticking into the A3 scrapbook paper. These objects needed to represent parts of what they carried or saw during their journey. It wasn't difficult to find because all the objects I have chosen can either be found in my backyard or dresser. Step 4. Take the leaves from the tree. In this fourth step, another easy step was to take the leaves, which was supposed to be taken from the summer homes the children stayed in, was taken from my backyard. I collected around 3 leaves and dried them out to make an ancient appearance. Step 5. Collect the rocks from the street. The fifth step I took was to collect the rocks I have planned to tape onto the scrapbook. These rocks represented part of the broken down roads and streets the 4 children have walked through during their long hike through Posen. I collected these from those side streets. Step 6. Drawing. The sixth step was the drawing part. I wanted to add a little art touch to Edic's journal, so I decided to draw some of the most important landmarks he liked through the journey. The first drawing was the burned down house of the Balakis, back in their hometown. The second drawing was of Farmer John's. Farmer John was one of the few people that helped the children through the journey by giving them food and a roof on their head. The third was Jimpy's pot racks. Jimpy the chicken was Jan's favorite animal. He carried it around the whole time, and before they knew it, he was part of them. The last and most symbolic drawing will have to be the silver sword. The silver sword, their mom's most sacred object, was around with them the whole time. These drawings took a little time to perfect since I was not that good at drawing. I drew each one of them on half an A4. Step 7. Diary entries. Step 7 was mostly about adding feeling to this whole journal. The only way I could do that would be through diary entries and notes. I made 2 diary entries and 1 note. The first diary entry was on the day they escaped. The second was on his sickness. When writing these entries, I tried to make myself in Edic's position as much as I could. I placed him in the position where he felt that his older sister Ruth was bossing him around, and he did not like that, which is mostly what small brothers like to do. The notes were about the foods Jan were bringing in for the children to eat. I referred to some of the food Americans usually ate and described them in an odd fashion. To make it more interesting, I decided to translate these entries and notes into Polish, Edic's language. I used Google Translate and pasted the translations in the back of the scrapbook. Step 8. Writing the explanation. The 8th step I took was writing an explanation under every object and drawing. This was an important part because it described what it meant for the drawing or object. This explanation was only 2 to 3 sentences. It described the object and described its role in Edic's life. Step 9. Coffee staining. Step 9 was making the pages I have made and coffee staining them to give an ancient appearance. I took some black coffee and poured it onto both sides of the paper and let it stain and dissolve in. It took around 2 to 3 hours to. Step 10. Rewriting in pen. In this before last step, I took all my coffee stain paper that were written in pencil and rewrote them in pen. This step was not planned step. It just happened because the pencil writings and marks did not show as well as planned. Therefore, I had to rewrite them. Step 11. Assemble all the pages. The last step I took to complete the scrapbook was getting together with my group and assembling all our pages together to make one. This step was done at school after we gathered together and put holes on the scrapbook to tie in the string and make it look appealing to others. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed and liked the final scrapbook.